Коллеги, а можно на дублер вывести презентацию Захарова? Я попробую с кликером поработать. Подскажите, пожалуйста, на центральном дублере не будет текста?
Раз. Коллеги из Сбербанка, вы слышите меня? Сергей Тютин.
Да, коллеги, добрый день.
Госпожа Ирко. Да, все отлично. Спасибо, протестили. Через 5-7 минут начинаем. Спасибо.
Отлично.
Подскажите, пожалуйста, сюда преза выходит, когда я выступаю? Все? Ну вот на... то есть... Ага. Люди в зале видят презу с экранов? Спасибо. Все? Да.
Dear participants, we should start our session. There is no time limit for avoid this moment. So today we will work with my dear colleague. He don't like when I say old friend because it's not like that pronounced in and such kind of meanings in Chinese language. Then I'd like to introduce my Lao Panyo, that means is old friend, but another things. Deputy Director of the China Youth Exchange Center, Mr. Dzia Tisun. Please, Mr. Dzia, have a speech now, please.
Thank you, Alexei, for your kind words. And I have to congratulate our Russian colleagues first for organizing such a successful events in both face-to-face and online formats. This is really amazing. And I personally had the honor to work with Alexei and his team in the past 4 years on the China-Russian Youth Incubator Program. Actually, starting from tomorrow, we're going to have 12 sessions online under the framework of this program. And it shows a great success of this program. And I hope maybe some of you could participate in these 12 sessions. We do have some important findings from our experiences. First one is that the platform like this, like the China-Russian Youth Incubator Program, is really important and meaningful and valuable for the young entrepreneurs, not only in China and Russia. I believe it's also necessary for young entrepreneurs from other parts of the world, including the BRICS countries. Secondly, we do find that information technology will play a more and more important role in building such a platform. Actually, tomorrow we are going to launch the very first China-Russia online service platform for the participants of our programs. And we hope that through this platform, which, by using a lot of information technologies, we can better serve the needs of the young entrepreneurs around the world, including China and Russia and the BRICS countries. Hopefully, the experiences we had could be shared and introduced to more parts of the world, especially the BRICS countries. So I think that's why we are having this session today. And I think I should give more time to the speakers. And I sincerely wish the session a success. And I will join you guys during the session. And I hope you could get more information and find opportunities and potential partners through this exchange experiences. Thank you, Alexei. I'll stop here, Alexei.
Thank you, Mr. Dzia. Let's start, and let me introduce the first speaker. He is our front runner of the session of entrepreneurship and innovation, the chairman of the Youth Entrepreneurship Development Committee at Опора России, more powerful entrepreneurship organization in Russia, Mr. Artem Androsov. Please, you're welcome.
Thanks, everyone. Good afternoon, colleagues. What about my presentation? Thanks. Thank you very much, Tatiana, Alexei, for inviting this opportunity. I would like to present you the All-Russian Public Organization of Small and Medium Side Business, Opora Russia. This is the largest small business organization in Russia. It includes more than 450,000 members and operates 85 regions in Russia, have more than 400 local offices, and now represents more than 28 foreign representatives. The largest representative office in China, there are our representatives in 4 regions. Apora have 67 profile committees. I'm the head of one of them, which deals with the development of youth entrepreneurships. We are represented in 41 regions, and this committee is considered one of the priorities in the organization. In the terms of youth entrepreneurship, we have built a working relationship with young entrepreneurs from Europe and China. The youth committee holds more than 600 events in 2019. The main event, the called SOUP Forum, will be held in 2021 for the 9th time in Human. The forum has a long history, so in 2017 it was a special project of the 19th World Festival of Youth and Students. In 2019 it brought together 1,600 entrepreneurs from 40 regions of Russia and 6 countries. It is my pleasure to invite delegation of young entrepreneurs from the BRICS countries to come to the US and instead discuss joint development. We also hold a large number of meetings and events, like Business Game Factory has been developed to demonstrate the importance of business process at the enterprises. We hold the championship in school on the board games You Are Entrepreneur. We have launched the Department of Entrepreneurship at the university and are now scaling up this practice. We work separately on the development and implementation programs for the scale-up of young entrepreneurs. During the pandemic, young entrepreneurs have become one of the most vulnerable audience, and our joint task is to help young people grow up. To do this, we need to share the best business development practices. My colleague Dmitry will represent you some our scale-up programs as well. Thanks.
Thank you, Artyom. Thank you. In the end of our session, everyone could have a chance to have a question for our speakers. So I contain the speech for Mr. Dzia. Please. We don't hear you.
As Alexei said, we're going to have a Q&A session after all the speakers have their introduction sessions. So the next speaker is from China, Mr. Sun Jiazheng, and he is engaged in the business for helping young people to visit the foreign countries by providing international exchange services. So he will share his stories in starting up his own business. Please.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone, and good afternoon, Chair. I'm honored to be here to present you my entrepreneurship and share my experience of how I founded my company. Back to the year 2009, and I started my company and for doing the exchange program, sending our students from our province to foreign countries, including the Canada, UK, Australia, Singapore, and Japan. So at the beginning, because I was studying abroad in Canada, so I'm familiar with Canadian school system. So I started with Canada schools. sending young students from grade 5 to grade 12 to Canada for like 2 weeks program, mostly during the summer. So every year I sending, the first year actually, I was sending 120 students from Xi'an to Canada, to including north and the south part of the country. But unfortunately, back to year 2009, I think many of you are familiar with the pandemic as well, the H1N1 flu. So the trip has been canceled. And next year, I have to do all the things again, because I refunded all the money to the parents and to the school. So I lost the money, but next year I tried again, and even harder. And I got 200 students next year in the 2010, and that's the beginning. So after Canada, when the school has more demand for more countries, like I started to organize a trip to Australia and UK and Japan, Singapore and Japan. So I wanted to share you that even during the pandemic time, and I didn't give up, and I tried to do more work, and as long as that I can focus on better quality of the trips and to provide to the students more experience for the foreign countries so they can learn. And today, when I attend this film forum, I was thinking like the BRIC countries, it's even more great opportunities for our students to learn. And why don't we try to organize the trips to the BRIC countries? But unfortunately, this year the pandemic, the H1, the COVID-19, the flu outbreaks. So we have no chance to organize trips this year. So I have to think, and if there is any innovation and any new things that I can start, because I was always like to do the photo shootings and the designs when I was doing my work before. So I started the photography and the commercial company, try to shoot the photos and for the automobiles, the architecture, and the landscapes as well, and also the portrait for the peoples. So I was thinking later on, maybe we could start a debate every year for sending students or the young people to the BRIC countries, and to share the cultures and organizing the trips, maybe sending the students from Russia to China, and we can go over to Russia as well. Because for our BRICS countries, normally we see students from Russia and India, but rarely see students from South Africa and also from Brazil. So what I was thinking is maybe if we could work together and open an organization to organize students coming all over around the BRIC countries to share different cultures, and when the COVID-19 is all finished, so that will be a great opportunity for us to to work together and share different cultures. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sun. Thank you, Mr. Sun.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Zia, we have some technical issues, some technical problem about our surprise presentation. So let's continue under the list of speaker, and when it will stop, we should continue our presentation. Major point that I got from Mr. Sun is that he didn't give up on the pandemic situation and continue his work as entrepreneurs, because that is a very necessary point for every entrepreneurship. Every countries among the world against by the COVID-19, and many people who base only on these resources, I mean entrepreneurs, businessmen, like self-employees people are like against by this pandemic very hard. So they lost a lot of money and they lost a lot of opportunity, and of course, sustainable fundament of their leg, and so it was a real crisis among the world. So thank you for your opinion that you didn't give up, and message for everyone, I mean optimistic message for everyone. So next speaker in my list will be director of Rus Forum, Mr. Dmitry Zakharov. Please, you are welcome with your speech.
Okay, thank you. How do you hear me? Is it okay? Thank you. Hello everyone. Thank you, Alexei. Thank you, Tatiana, for inviting me. Today I want to speak about business acceleration of entrepreneurs from BRICS countries. My name is Dmitry Zakharov. I'm entrepreneur, CEO of Rus Forum. We organized forums, and more than 10,000 people use our training programs. I'm a member of Russian-Chinese Business Accelerator. If you want to find more information, you can use Instagram. I want to talk about business acceleration program, and do you know what? In this life we have many risky and dangerous things. For example, nobody starting skydive without preparation. All people go to skydiving school. No one defuse bombs without training. And nobody trying to check gasoline level using a cigarette lighter. It's a very dangerous. Yeah, you know it. But maybe in this place I can run, some people trying to do it. That's why we still have Darwin Awards, every year awards for stupid death. But many normal people trying to reduce risk to be ready to create business with another countries, because people understand business with another country is a big risk and it's a big opportunities. If we want to send entrepreneurs delegation in another country to create business cooperation, what's our plan? For example, if we want to create cooperation with Brazil, we need to find expert, we need to create acceleration program. After that, we need to find group of entrepreneurs who want to work with Brazil, and after that, we check knowledges. And when we understand they are really ready, we send delegation and start and pray to God they really all good understand and they have a chance to create business with another country. After that, they come back, we need to update the content and start this work again. What is a disadvantage of this system? Every new delegation, you need to restart the cycle. We always must call expert again, and if you haven't expert in your region, maybe you haven't expert of Indian people, or maybe you don't have Brazilian expert, it can be a problem for you. We must choose right time for all participants, and as you really know, it's impossible, because always somebody can't go in right time. We don't have ideal right time. We must check knowledges and give feedback. And every year they have the same mistake as people in last year. Every year in accelerator programs. You need to store all videos from Zoom somewhere to cloud server. And after that we share links. And what people do? People always lose links. They type in the chat, where is that video about China? Where is that video about Brazil? Where is that video about cross-cultural communication? And the organizers really don't know who learn all, or maybe not. They only can help. And we must do it again and again. Why? Because we understand, because today the most smart entrepreneurs become winner. Without this program, trying to do business with another country is like trying to find in a black cat in a black room without lice. This is especially difficult when she is not there. And we do it again and again. But in Apollo Russia, we believe we have another way. What if we create learning management system for entrepreneurs, BRICS? How it can work? First step. Look at this slide. Brazil train entrepreneurs to do business with China. Russia do the same. India do the same. South Africa doing the program for entrepreneurs, an acceleration program to do business with China. And only one question. Why we all do the same work? The same work in 4 another countries. This program will be very similar. People in China, always people in China. People in Russia, always people in Russia. We can divide all program into 2 parts. First part, we need to unite it in a one acceleration BRICS program, general base about business in this country. We don't need to do the same things 4 times. We create one model once for everyone. And second direction, a special area for training courses, something special for China, something special for South Africa, something special for India or Brazil. And what are the general and special models can be? For example, general models, search for partners, where to look, where to start, how to find right people in the right place, knowledge base, blacklist with people who don't need to connect, or maybe a law of countries, what you can or cannot do in this area. Its information can be important for people in another country, in Brazil, in Russia. We all need to know this content. What support is available for BRICS Accelerator participant? How to understand cross-cultural communication? It can be general models. For example, special models. Import and export rules. It can be different. How to write international contracts. Export taxes from China to Brazil. And this content will access only for people in Brazil or in China. Russian people don't need to do this. It's special models. Okay, how learning management system is working? It's a very difficult system. It's a courses, it's documentation, it's training, e-learning, management, education, and it's all work in one place in one time. What are the benefits for us? First, we remove duplicate content from other countries. All models is available for entrepreneurs and his team at any time. It's automated knowledge check. It works remotely. And all materials are stored in one place. You don't need to look in it again. You can always see the progress of your acceleration membership. And if you see they have a very difficult topic, you can correct it. You can give your more attention on this topic. The most popular question in this system can be next. Will it work? Really, learning management system working? Yes, it's really working, exists in the large companies already. Some people are talking, we can find all information in internet. Why we do need a learning management system? Really, we can find, but we need verified data confirmed by the BRICS expert community, because you can find in internet information and opportunity information for this content. Some people know COVID is real, but some people in internet really think it's fake. And we need verified data. And will the exciting format die? Like this. Now it will be evolved. We will work in learning management system 50% of time, but another time we can work with here on these places. And most important question, are these big expensive? Is it very cost? It will actually cut our cost altogether, because we have common part of content. For all BRICS country, it will be very cheaper than you will create 5 programs for your entrepreneur in your country. And let's be smarter and create a learning management system for entrepreneurs in the BRICS countries for our companies and our economics. My colleague from Singapore, Marina, will give you more information about these programs in Asian region. She already do it for Russian companies in Singapore. Okay, and don't forget to keep in touch. If you need more information, follow me on Instagram. Thank you.
Okay, congratulations, Mr. Sakharov. You really gave us a very interesting proposal. And the learning management system seems to be very attractive for the young entrepreneurs in BRICS countries. And you are absolutely right by saying that great opportunities always go with high risk. However, if we have a good strategy and adequate training, then maybe we can avoid this risk. It's really an interesting session. And next speaker is a young leader from India, Mr. Hari Krishna Nagothu. Please, welcome.
Yeah, namaskar to one and all. Namaste, good evening to one and all. Young entrepreneurship creates employment opportunities for youth as well as the young people they employ. This helps to bring ostracized youth back into economic mainstream and address some of the socio-psychological problems and the delinquency that arises from joblessness. Youth entrepreneurship is also helps youth to develop new skills and experience to promote innovation, resilience in youth. As a young entrepreneur, particularly responsive to new economic opportunities and trends, they would be able to better adapt to changing market. Youth entrepreneurship is an important tool in stimulating the region's economy. This is became each entrepreneurship brings and benefits not only for himself but for the municipalities, region or country as a whole. As the self-employed and often have a better work satisfaction, these business people create jobs for other as well. Youth entrepreneurship can lead to development of more industries, especially in regions disadvantaged by economic changes by encouraging the processing of local material into finished goods for domestic consumption and export. Entrepreneurship is need of the hour in the country because to empower new gold standard of life to be pursued than to be swayed away in the deficient standard of to be empowered dependency. Keeping this in mind, the new education policy NEP ramps in India project driven approach initially within the students, therefore reviewing them up into the producing of rathering mass producing products or servicing presenting to the need of the hour through their respective campuses or Indian education institutions into the society. This policy gives a new facelight to much anticipated self-dependent potential to Indian student fraternity, thereby by making a dependency jobless only a thing of past. Be a entrepreneur, be a empowerment, empower the country. Youth entrepreneurship is an important tool in stimulating the region economy. This is because the entrepreneur brings benefits not only himself, municipality, and these are the regions taken by ourselves in India. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Hari Krishna. Mr. Zakharov told that we need to have some, some special program for all the country, but don't mix it and make the similar things which could double it for each person who will educate from that program. But I was a lot of time in China, and next country is India, so I feel myself a little bit Chinese and a little bit Indian, so maybe we should mix something to make acceleration program with our partners and young leaders like Mr. Hari Krishna. Thank you for your speech. Next speaker, I'd like to introduce sales director and corporate trainer at TAIL, Marina Belousova, a person who make her speech by video conference from Singapore. Please.
Beautiful evening to everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, please. We
Okay,
see your presentation.
My name is Marina Belousova, and I'm sending you warm greetings from Singapore. I am very honored to be a speaker on such great international event. Tonight, I will share with you my experience on how to eliminate borders by boosting cross-cultural awareness in a company. Let me introduce myself. I wear two hats. First, I'm here as an expert who is practically involved in cross-cultural communications in my role of sales director. I have an extensive track record in this field. For 16 years, I have been working in a Russian multi-regional company. Within the last 3 years, I have been in charge of the international development of our flagship brand. I am staying in Singapore and doing business with the customers from Asian countries. And my second hat is as a business trainer. This year, I have come up with new courses which are of great use for those communicating with foreign partners. I conduct my trainings mostly for my Russian colleagues, but nowadays they are available for external audience as well. Here you can see the impressive map with the presence of our brand. 23 cities in Russia, 4 international representative offices, 10 international distributors. Of course, not all of these people and companies communicate with each other, but those who do need to obtain knowledge, develop skills, and get support to ensure efficient communications with other cultures. That's why I have gradually developed several training programs to help my colleagues better adjust themselves to cross-cultural communications. I offer 5 programs, 3 of which are targeted to partnership with Asians. The audience can be more comprehensive, of course, and includes, but not limited to, these groups. Now we have come to the essence of my speech. What steps are needed to dramatically increase your cross-cultural awareness? First, fuel yourself with theory. It's not that boring, really. I introduce to you these famous scholars: Edward T. Hall, Geert Hofstede, Richard D. Lewis, Fons Trompinars. I highly recommend all you to check out their business books for more information. You can easily find them in English, of course, and some of them are available in Russian. In Geert Hofstede's system, there are 6 dimensions to compare countries: power distance, individualism, masculinity, uncertainty avoidance, long-term orientation, indulgence. You can see on this slide that China, India, Russia, and South Africa are quite different. You can learn about dimensions and apply the knowledge to your business or communication strategy. Step number 2, dive. Sorry, I missed some of the slides. Now I'm coming back. And probably I should spend a couple of seconds on this slide to get you understand what I was talking about. So these are 6 dimensions by system of Geert Hofstede. And now we have come to step number 2, dive, not surf. The next slide explains it. Look at this culture iceberg. In most cases, people who plan to meet with representatives of other cultures pay more attention to the elements above the waterline, to the visible part of the iceberg. Meanwhile, there are elements underneath that require your attention. In my trainings, I always start with diving into the water with my students. If people understand this deep element, then they are able to apply the knowledge and adjust their behavior accordingly, rather than simply learning how to behave. When talking about values in Asia, one of the first names coming into mind is Confucius, of course. I would not suggest to communicate with the Chinese if you are not aware of basic Confucian principles and his system of interdependent relationships. The structure outlines 5 principal relationships: emperor over subject, father over son, husband over wife, older brother over younger brother, senior friend over junior friend. If Confucius were alive today, he would suggest a 6th relationship to his structure: boss over subordinate. Understanding this system of relationships gives you a lot of clues to efficient communication with the Chinese. In my trainings, I use these proven and certified methods for learning values of different cultures: cultural detective and culture buff. Here are Chinese values: faith, family, go and see, nationalism, harmony, prosperity, hierarchy. I proceed with Indian values: status, personal networks and connections, layered communications, resourcefulness, group identity. I believe you're all curious about Russian values, and here you go: friendship, soulfulness, creative problem solving. I couldn't agree more on this: fatalism, perseverance. Having these values in mind, we investigate cultural crimes in critical incidents or cases which are provided by the system, cultural detective. But very often I use real cases from my own business experience. In the end, we have to come up with solutions for both parties involved. Normally, it's representative of two countries which come to a conflict or misunderstanding, and we as detective have to solve this case. Culture Buff is another method packed as a quiz to help students learn values in a more fun way compared to lectures. Can you guess what the right answer here is? If you had more time, then we could play, but maybe next time. So I just give you the correct answer. It's group-oriented. Probably I have to skip these cartoons due to time constraints. So by playing with cartoons, participants get themselves immersed in the values of a given countries. And understanding values is a crucial part of establishing rapport and establishing trust between people from different cultures. And last but not the least step, practice makes perfect. You have to communicate, learn from your mistake, rethink, and reshape. Don't be afraid to open the gate and step towards a successful communication with culturally different others. If you have further questions, please reach me out on social media and I'll be happy to answer them and communicate with you, or probably we will have some times during a Q&A session later today. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's my turn, Alexei?
Yes. Yes, please.
Yeah, I just want to say that this is also a very interesting topic, and I think sometimes successful business is always about successful cross-cultural communication. So if you don't understand the people, you couldn't understand the market, and you couldn't have good business opportunities. And also, it's interesting that how a foreigner look at your own culture. It's not a matter of correct or wrong. It's basically different perspective. If we all try to understand another culture with a different perspective, and then we exchange this information and experiences, I think it's very valuable to build up a consensus on a wider range of issues. And that's how we create a better relationship and a better business. I do hope I have more opportunities to communicate with this lady about her service and program, and hopefully we can do some joint, have some joint efforts in promoting this program towards a better direction and benefit more young people in BRICS countries. So next speaker is the founder of Township Entrepreneurship Alliance from South Africa, Mr. Bulelani Balabala, please.
Hi everyone. I don't know if you can hear me clearly. Good afternoon all the way in South Africa. I'm not too sure what weather it is in all the other parts of the country, but thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to participate in this conversation. I think in the spirit of the fact that it's the youth entrepreneurship and innovation discussion, I've got my youthful cap on to show the liveliness of the discussion. And I think to the colleagues, Marina, lovely hat. And I think to everyone to all the other colleagues who have gone ahead of me and spoke, thank you so much. I think you have shared quite a mouthful with regards to entrepreneurship and how we could foster the relationships from an international perspective. And I think just before I go into our thoughts as South African young entrepreneurs or the youth in terms of how we could build a relationship and grow international relations in and around youth entrepreneurship and also in driving innovation. I think it goes without saying that globally youth entrepreneurship is the pinnacle and the epicenter of any country's economic growth, because any country that doesn't invest in youth development or enriching the livelihood of young people is a country that shall stagnate and will not grow. And I'm excited at the fact that BRICS has put this particular topic and agenda as one of the main themes, because if we then focus on youth development, youth entrepreneurship, and also youth innovation, then we are building globally, we are building our countries to dominate, but to also create a conducive environment for economic and social growth and development. So some of the points that I'd like to share in my next slide, if you would move on to the slide. Sorry, as South Africa, I just want to get it on my side because it looks a little bit small on that screen. So some of the South Africa's proposed recommendation to the summit and how we could grow these international relations is, number one, economic cooperation. That's the need for cooperation amongst countries on youth entrepreneurship programs that seek to facilitate market linkages. One of the biggest needs that you'll come across for every small business or every entrepreneur globally is that they need market access. They are not bothered by coming up with genius ideas, but ideally they also understand that their own individual ideas can compete on a global scale. And I think one of the things that we need to drive towards through BRICS is ensuring that we are able to foster market linkage opportunities internationally so that we give localized products a global standing. The second point there is scientific and technological cooperation, which is the promotion of youth research and development programs that should enable an environment for technological innovation. Big BRICS countries, universities to focus on scientific and technological fields, more especially for the fourth industrial revolution in an entrepreneurial way. Entrepreneurship in and itself is how we do and live each and everyday life. Every everyday part of life or every component of everyday life has entrepreneurship in it. So I think having an entrepreneurship, component to the technological advancements through innovation in pursuing the fourth industrial revolution puts us in a situation where we are able to drive growth. The third point there is trade agreements, ensuring participation and youth representation in all trade agreements, discussions between BRICS countries to make sure the youth voice is heard economically to foster entrepreneurship development between the two countries. I don't know if all my other colleagues would agree, but in most countries, in every country, young people want to be heard. So if we are able to put them in a position where their voices are heard and they're also put at the decision table through these trade agreements, then we have a better environment. And these agreements are not just adopted by the people who are in power, but they are also adopted by young people who will then be the future leaders of each individual country. The fourth point there is exchange programs. Explore ways for exchange programs on education and entrepreneurship. The fifth point is creation of a common blended fund using private and government capital. The point after that would be creation of a capacity building fund in order to support startup businesses. And I think it was important to break down the two funds because the type of funding, the type of funding that I spoke about before would be more focused on scale, helping entrepreneurs to scale. And I think through the governmental and also private sector funding, then puts it in and puts those entrepreneurs that are seeking funding to scale in a position where there might be market access linkages through government opportunities and also through corporate opportunities. And I think it's important for us to create an enabling environment for the startup businesses through the capacity building fund that will help startups to grow. The point after that is creation of crowdfunding platforms for BRICS entrepreneurs. Crowdfunding is one of the best ways for us to start to enable funding for entrepreneurs across the board, because what crowdfunding does is that it opens up an opportunity for even ordinary individuals to participate in funding small businesses so that they're able to then access the funds. And it doesn't just become a government responsibility or large corporate or large business responsibility to fund these businesses, but we open it up across the board. The point following that one is adoption by the new development bank of a project development fund that prioritizes social entrepreneurship and job creation for the youth. The next point would be creation of a cross-company platform to act as a social entrepreneur network to find solution for different issues. And I think, one of the biggest drivers in our country, and we live by the saying Ubuntu, which in and itself is social entrepreneurship. When you think about it, it's socially doing good for others. And I think if we put social entrepreneurship at the forefront of entrepreneurship, then we know that we are protecting our environment, we're protecting our future, we're protecting our youth at the end of the day. The point that follows that one is allocation of part of industry expenditure to youth-owned business. I think it goes without saying, the only way to ensure that businesses grow is to give them opportunities. The only way to give them opportunities is to cordon off certain percentages on any project or large-scale projects so that they are given an opportunity to practice and grow their own businesses. The second last point is developing special economic zones to create incentive for investment in youth business or projects and promote intra-BRICS commercial trade. The last point would be promoting of skills development initiatives for BRICS youth in order to improve capacitation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Bulalani. I see from you one most important appeal. Get things done. And I suppose that our BRICS session of entrepreneurs and innovation should implement your proposals into our agenda, and maybe after some times that things will be done clearly and in the enough way to make the prosperity and share the goods for young people among the BRICS. So, in the continue of your speech, we will also speak about some special zone in Russia. So, please stay with us until the end of this session. I think you will have some point of that or some question of that. Thank you for your speech. And the next speaker will be Deputy Chairman of the Volga Bank of Sberbank Russia. Now this name is Sber. Make the long story short, they make now Sber. Mr. Sergei Tutin, please, welcome.
Dear colleagues, good afternoon or good evening. I'm not sure what time right now is in South Africa, but in Ульяновске it is the afternoon or even evening. First of all, I would like to thank all the participants and the organizers for the invitation. For me, it's a great honor and pleasure to participate in the summit. Today, I'm going to concern maybe two topics. And number one, how Sberbank deals with foreign economic activity, and number two, what products and services can banks offer to their clients, including young entrepreneurs, to improve their international businesses. So today Sberbank serves more than 220,000 participants of foreign economic activity. Actually, we are the leader on the Russian market. And several years ago, Sberbank created a special center of competence which serves foreign economic activity of our clients. The specialists in this center have deep international and industrial knowledge and experience. It operates 20 hours every working day, and clients can be consulted in 3 different languages: Russian, Chinese, and English. All the services for foreign economic activity are available online. For example, a client can get a bank's guarantee to reduce the term for refunding taxes from the government which appear due to export or import transactions. And all the documents to receive this guarantee, as well as to receive the refunding itself, can be downloaded via the internet application called Sber Business, which has online direction with the tax office. Moving to the second topic, banks' products for business improvement, I will point out the online platform, which is called bankofpartners.com, and this platform was created 3 years ago as a service for clients to search suppliers and customers. And today, I can say that more than 60,000 participants, members from 179 countries have registered on this platform. It gives an ability to find a business partner, to check and verify whether it functions or not, to get the information about its financial statement and so on. And a report on this potential partner can be prepared in 8 different languages, which are Russian and English, French and German, Japanese and Chinese, Spanish and Portuguese. Apart from the finding a partner, the platform gives an opportunity and offers an export accelerator, which can be interesting for young entrepreneurs. And the service assesses the client's preparedness for international expansion. And if the result is positive, a client can get a roadmap for international expansion, a personal manager, and government support, including subsidies and grants. Besides, the platform offers the data concerning export and import. It gives the information about different marketplaces, fairs, and exhibitions all over the world. Of course, it's hard today, it's hard to participate in offline meetings during the pandemic. That's why in May, Sber launched another new service called Business Mission Online for our clients. It temporarily substitutes the offline events which are canceled, and producers can present their products, goods, online for foreign counterparts. Sberbank has already provided 11 missions for 500 companies, 5 with China, 4 with India, 1 with Kazakhstan, and 1 with Eastern Europe, and we will do more. Dear participants of the summit, to conclude my presentation, I would like to offer to join our activities to develop, maybe mutually, the business relationships between our countries. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And it's amazing to learn from your speech about the services from the bank. to help the business people around the world, and especially your online services in the past and also after the pandemic. I think it will be very helpful for the not only the the businessmen, but especially the young entrepreneurs to do a better business within the BRICS countries and around the world. And I hope banks in other BRICS countries will join your efforts to provide a better financial services to the business community. Thank you again. So next speaker is from Brazil, Mr. Carlos Adiano Ferraz, officer from the National Secretariat of Youth. Sorry for my pronunciation of your name. Please.
It's okay, no problem. Thank you very much for your introduction. And I would like to, first of all, to thank you for this opportunity to show what we are doing here in Brazil in order to assure that our younger people will have a prosperous future. So, first of all, good afternoon to all the participants of the meeting of BRICS ministers and heads of agencies that are responsible for youth policies, especially to its organizers at Russia. So, my name is Carlos Adriano Ferraz, and I am a philosophy professor currently assigned to work at the Brazilian Ministry of Women, Family and Human Rights, more specifically to the National Youth Secretariat, in which I've been working, especially thinking about policies focused on youth people. Since the youth represents our most valuable resource for the future, we've been working intensively on policies that might help youth to get through this pandemic moment of crisis. And our main idea is to promote what we've been calling a productive inclusion, which means to assure youth employment and income. So that's our main concern right now here in Brazil, especially having in mind the crisis we are facing all over the world. So we are implementing many policies at this moment, but since I have just a few minutes here, I must be as objective as possible. So I would like to present here just one of these policies, to it, the Horizontes program. Horizontes may be translated to English as horizons, because that's the idea. The idea is to give youth an horizon in order for them to build their future. So my main idea here is just to introduce the Horizontes program, showing its general goals as well as the available data in order to demonstrate how it is an efficient, sustained, and inclusive program focused on promoting a resilient entrepreneurship and its corollaries. As for example, creation of decent employments, improvement in quality of life, mitigation of the deleterious effects of the COVID-19 crisis, and the like. In this sense, the Brazilian government recently launched this program we just called Horizontes, which was designed to promote a resilient entrepreneurship as well as the innovation among young people from 18 years to 29 years old, with an emphasis on those in situation of social vulnerability. So Horizontes represents a tremendous commitment of the Brazilian Ministry of Women, Family and Human Rights, more specifically of the National Youth Secretariat, to the elaboration and implementation of nationwide policies that might foment some goals concerned to promoting and developing youth entrepreneurship and innovation, improving the existing business, creating income opportunities, coaching young people so that they can use the technological resources available, ensuring that their digital literacy and their access to information communications technology, along with their inclusion in the so-called fourth industrial revolution, along with others. In this sense, Horizonte's program is currently an auspicious policy, youth-oriented, which is intended to be a powerful public policy, particularly in view of the post-pandemic economic crisis. Furthermore, Horizonte's program is lined up with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, notably with its 8th goal, decent work and economic growth, in which we may read, sustained and inclusive economic growth can drive progress, create decent jobs for all, and improve living standards. I mean. So in this sense, our main idea here with the program Horizontes, and this program is not the only one we are working on at this moment, but it is certainly the most important one. We have with this program the main purpose of giving young people an opportunity for them to build their own future, taking in consideration their autonomy. So we are not giving them resources. We are helping them in order for them to build themselves their future. So that's the importance of giving them the tools for them to build their future. So the main idea of the Horizontes program is to give them this means in order for them to build their future in an autonomous manner. So that's the main idea of this program we call Horizontes. And the main idea of this program is to give them the opportunities for what we are calling resilient entrepreneurship, not only innovation, but a resilient entrepreneurship in order for them not give up their future. So that's the main idea of this program, and we are just starting at this moment. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carlos, for sharing with us a very interesting Brazilian youth program helping young people to build up a brighter future. And I think there are similar practice in other BRICS countries for helping young people to achieve this goal. And next speaker is a very good friend of mine. And she is actually the founder from the Russian side for the China-Russia Youth Incubator Program. And she serves as the head of international departments for Russian Federal Agency for Youth Affairs. Tatiana and my good friend have been working with me for a long time during the passing 5 years on building up a framework for young entrepreneurs to do business together across the borders. So she's very experienced in this aspect, and today she's going to share with you a very important initiative, and the project's name is IT Valley. So now I would like to give the floor to my good friend Tatiana for the next speech. Please.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dzia. Hello, everybody. I can see that everybody are tired, but don't worry, I'm a last speaker, and I want to make presentation about very interesting and very huge projects. Name of this project, International IT Valley. What will help, what about my presentation? I will show this. So now I will show you a presentation. We speak too much about cooperation between young entrepreneurs. We speak too much about cooperation in informational technology sphere. We try to find a new mechanisms for cooperation between entrepreneurs. And how you heard before, 2 months ago in Ульяновsк city, we opened the project office for Youth International Cooperation, Russia, BRICS. And inside of this project, groups of businessmen of Ульяновск region organized this international IT Valley. This group of businessmen start to build a very interesting project, and now I will make some speech about it. So you can see this island, it's a structure when we will build all infrastructure with camps, with buildings, with hotels, and in this place we will invite young people, corporations, business organizations to work here. It's like it's like Silicon Valley, but it's like new format, new mechanism for cooperation. First of all, it's like real nature. You can see this building now we have on this island. Already last 5 years we organized many international events on this island, and we understood that foreign people love Russian nature, and that's why they want to be on this place more time. They want to relax in this place, and they also want to work, and they also want to have some interesting events, some business negotiations. You can see how it's look beautiful. So we start to make this project. Our Federal Agency for Youth Affairs support this project from budget, from political supporting, and tomorrow we want to organize presentation about this international IT Valley for our hit for youth affairs of the BRICS countries. And every year we want to organize different activities on this island in Ульяновск region. You know, from this place by car or by bus, it's around 1 hour. So it's very close to the center of the city. And we want to organize many activities, and we will use this infrastructure for young people who work in business sphere, for young people who work in culture sphere, who want to organize business project in informational technology. So you can see structure of our work. We will organize many youth events. We will organize many business conferences with international community. And of course, we want to organize camp for young people who want to organize international business. For example, for the next year in July, we will make international BRICS youth camp for people who work in informational technology sphere. We will invite best young people from BRICS country, and they will come to this island, to this IT Valley for cooperation, for work together. And you will feel how you will feel good in this place because it's very beautiful nature with good infrastructure. And this camp we will organize every year. All summertime we will make different events about culture, about entrepreneurship, about humanitarian cooperation, like that. And of course, now we work very close with Ульяновск region. We want to make a very good fees for young people who come to make business in this region. So you will have good opportunities here to organize international project in IT sphere or some other business spheres. And already we have very good links with our Ministry of Economy Affairs of the Russian Federation. They also agree to support this project, and they have an interest how Russia can invite many international companies, many young people who will work in this place. And of course, from the government side, you will get many opportunities to build business in Russia, and you will build international business with different international partners. So first of all, we will organize many interesting events. After that, many companies can come with teams, and for example, team of IT, they can live in this place and they can work from this place for, you know how people from information technology works. For example, let's see on the experience of Indian people or Russian people. Many Indian people, Russian people who work in IT spheres, they sit on the Goa on the beaches and don't feel sad because they can see sun, they can see ocean, and they're feeling good, and they have a more fruitful work, they have a more productive work than in office in the capital of India, for example. Yes, so in this project we have a same idea to have a good chance to work in a very beautiful nature like that. So you can see it's our major partners from Russian side, and I hope that tomorrow when we will organize this presentation on the ministry meeting, they also will support us, and they also will send us some information how this project can be international. I mean, we want to invite many international partners from government side and from private side. And I hope that you guys have interest about this project and you also will participate to our events. And of course, we will invite you all to be part of big IT Valley. Name of this IT Valley, Futuropolis. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Tatiana. Even I feel like I'm sitting in the future in that Futuropolis, and also I saw that project by my eyes, so it's holding on the last step of making it. So that is a great project and first project among the BRICS countries for young entrepreneurs. So let's see how it will going on in the short future time. So Tatiana was the last speaker for our session, but we have two necessary deals of our session. First deal is Q&A session. I mean, you can, everybody of you, can ask some question for our speakers. Does anyone have any question for our speakers? Our experts and speakers are holding online now. So, you pleased? No one. Everything clear. Please. Could you give him microphone? Oh, please.
Hello. Hello, my name is João Pedro. I'm Brazilian, and my question is for you. And who will finance your Futuropolis? Это Сбербанк или наш БРИКС банк?
I have an answer. So our budget have a different structure. First, it's the money of some businessmen, of some group of businessmen from Ульяновск region. They already invest about 1 billion of rubles to this project. Second part of this structure of budget is Russian government money and regional budget of money. And of course, in our strategy to work more closer with new bank of infrastructure, BRICS Bank, of course, because we understand that they also have interest about infrastructure project like that. And after this youth summit, we want to organize negotiations with BRICS Bank, and I hope that we will get support from them. And first of all, we must to get support from ministries, and after that, we will have more chances to get support from BRICS Bank.
So I'd like to emphasize that we have online our partner from Sber. So Mr. Sergey, look forward for that project. I think it could be a good investment in your bank. So
thank you very much. It's a good question and a good idea to think about. Thank you.
Yes. We in the future we will connect you with the stakeholder of that project. So it could be resultful. Mr. Akil, please.
My question also for Tatiana. In this project, is it possible for foreign investors to invest? For foreign companies, if they want to buy something or some part of this city in the Silicon Valley, will there be an opportunity for foreigners to buy some offices and investment for foreigners?
Yes, Akil, my dear friend, I know you long time. So, Sergey, are you here? Sergey Lakovsky, ты здесь? Oh, okay. Sergey, please come to the stage, please. Yes, it's a very good question. Of course, we want to invest to this project from private budget, from government budget, around 5 billion of rubles. And of course, we have an interest to have an investment from foreign companies and from foreign people who have a business. And Sergey, he is director of this project, and he is first Biden. Как это потратил? He spent this money, yes. His name is Sergey, and all details about investment cooperation, economic cooperation, you can discuss with Sergey. And also, it's his project, and he's my very good friend, and I can see big opportunity of this project. And of course, Akil, if you will be our bridge between Russia and India, we will be happy. Thank you.
Sure, definitely, we will try something. And it is possible because in India, IT is one of the major part. It is a big industry, and nowadays, even in Kazan, there are few Indian companies, IT companies. So I find there are opportunities for Union roles.
Yes, you are right. Many Indian IT companies have interest about Russian market, and it's a very good opportunity to work with them, and with you, and with Sergey. Thank you.
Thank you. We have not a lot of time for the Q&A session, so if nobody, please, one more question, and please, it would be last question for this session. We have one more deal.
My question is, in this era when people are going to digital marketing, not buying offices and everything, so is this a good idea to buy some buildings or offices? Because everyone is working from home, maybe because this time is short that many businessmen are working from video conferencing and everything. They don't need any office and that. So it is good to invest in this type of thing, like investing to make offices and special type of places.
I think it's, it's not a hard question, but not so simple. I mean, first of all, it depends on behavior of person. So even I don't like work from home, and I really appreciate to work from office. And if I will get a view from my office into some river or some sea or embankment or good places, it will be good for my mental health. First of all. Second things is really a question about the investment. Yes, really real estate or development is business which never goes down, and you never will haven't anything from you. You will every time have some active on your balance. Yes, so it's clear to have it. It's not like you can't compare it with IT or other type of business. It's some part of business in your all entire deals. One of the part of that. So it's my opinion. Maybe someone, our speakers, experts, could have an answer.
We agree with you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question. So that was the last question, and we have one more deals, and then we should end our session. We have the declaration of the 6 BRICS Youth Summit. You got it in this type or got it on WhatsApp. So we have some paragraph with youth, entrepreneurship and innovation. Please read it clear. If you want to suggest something or propose something just now here, you can do it in a few minutes, please. If you would like to make some proposal in this declaration, you can make it, send the message on WhatsApp, and our organizer team will fix it. And tomorrow, Tatiana and Roman Chukov will moderate the end session when every suggestion and every proposals will be discussed on that session. So if you'd like to announce some proposals into this part of declaration, please do it. Does anyone wants to do that? That's great. When at evening time,
I already talked about learning management system. I understand it.
What? Sorry?
I already talked about learning management system. I already talked about it. I want to.
That's great. We also fixed it, and tomorrow we'll discuss about it then. So that's great that we could end our session. We talked about investment, about infrastructure project, about the innovation, and I think that even when we stay at home in pandemic, no one from the entrepreneur society among the BRICS country or other countries don't stop them and work a lot, maybe in meaning, maybe make some new strategy of their business and make some issues or proposals for make their business more sustainable and more productive for that situation which was happened. So I'd like to end my speech on optimistic way and give the microphone for my colleague, co-moderator, Lao Panyo, Mr. Dzia. Please, some short speech for you.
Thank you, Alexei. It's now 10:35 p.m. in Beijing, and I'm very pleased to co-moderate this session from the Beijing office. And I think we achieved quite a lot during the session. And it seems that we all agree that a good youth partnership involves a lot of things from all walks of life. Involves the government agencies, the youth organizations, financial institutions, and maybe a better infrastructure like the proposal IT Valley. So it's great that we come to a lot of common recognitions from the discussions. And I just want to say thank you for everybody. Thank you, Tatiana, Alexei, and young friends from the BRICS countries. And I hope we can continue our discussions and create a better framework for the cooperation and partnership for the young people within BRICS countries. Thank you, and have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you for all experts and participants. We finished.